Hi everyone, sorry for the late start today. My computer decided that it was an excellent time to crash hard right when I wanted to get started. And so I'm just a little bit behind. But I'm really excited that y'all have decided to join. We're going to be doing sort of an end-to-end thing today. We're going to be going all the way from finding an issue in Spark JIRA to writing the code, to submitting a pull request, and then I'm also going to show what happens once a pull request is submitted. I'm going to show how code reviews happen. And so this will be hopefully exciting. I'm just going to get the chat window up on my phone because the normal thing that I'm doing is not cooperating super greatly. Okay, cool. Connected to both channels, so that's awesome. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to actually I'm just going to kick off a few things really quickly. One of the things which can be a little bit frustrating with Spark is that the build times are really long. And so before this started, I brought down the latest version of the code, and I'm just going to start at a high nice level, sort of the build process in the background, so that when we go to make our change, it'll just be a small incremental change that needs to get compiled, rather than a giant thing. So I guess with that, let's take it away. So I'm starting the SBT process with a niceness level of 19, and this isn't something you would normally do. This is just because I want the live stream to keep going, even though I'm running the Spark build. And so, yeah, we can see it's gonna run kind of slowly at niceness level 19. But the first thing that we're gonna do is try and find an issue for us to work on today inside of Spark. And the Spark project uses JIRA. Most of the Apache projects that use JIRA use issues.apache.org. And so this means that we could actually go ahead and replace Spark with the name of another open source Apache project, and we could find the issues for that. In this case, though, we can see there's a lot of issues, right? And we probably want to start filtering it down a little bit. So I'm actually going to go ahead and log into JIRA. Because it's a good thing to do. And so this is actually an important point. If you are interested in contributing to an open source project, while you can just make your pull requests on GitHub. If you're contributing to an ASF project which uses JIRA to track contributions, it's useful to have a JIRA account so that you can leave comments and talk with people both in the issue and on your pull requests. So we're going to go ahead and look at my JIRA credentials because the cache one isn't working today for reasons. That's not. Sorry for the slow start, folks. There we go. That's it. Yeah, cool. So now that we're logged in, it actually will, I've got a bunch of sort of saved searches. And it'll also show me the issues that I've been looking at recently. And so we can see I've been looking at some Spark and Beam issues. I could look at issues that are reported by me, or I could go ahead and look at new Spark, PySpark, ML, and MLlib issues. And this is the filter I'm going to select. And I'll show you the text for the filter, assuming that it lets me. Yeah, okay. So as you can see here, silly computer. We can use these kind of query strings to search for specific projects. Now, because this is being done in advance of PyData London, which if you happen to be in London, I hope you'll join me y'all will join me at PyData London. There's some things. Actually, starting today is the beginners boot camp. but I'll be talking on Saturday at PyData London, so I hope you join me there. Anyways, so because this is being done in sort of in advance of PyData London, I'm going to go ahead and actually just look for PySpark. I don't really care about Spark Core. We're going to focus on things that affect Python. And so this is looking only for open issues and it's looking for things that have been more recently created, with the idea that new issues, have less likely to been fixed by someone else already. Okay. If we do not consume all the records, it will throw an exception. Huh. That's interesting. Okay. So, good sign. 2 other people have talked about this. This could be a fun issue. This could actually be a pretty fun issue. I'm gonna go ahead and watch this issue, and we might come back to it. This might be the one that we pick, but for the sake of it, I'm gonna look through some of the other issues so that we can sort of see how we decide on what to work on. Pandas UDF schema is mapped by position and not name. Okay, this is probably yeah, so this is something where there's a lot of discussion happening already. Someone's already talking about doing this. So while there's no PR yet, it looks like someone else is already going to probably handle this, so I'm not going to touch it. I'll leave it to them. Need to apply. Interesting. Okay, so this issue is reported by one of the committers, so that's cool. It's a good sign that if you work on this issue, there will be someone around to review it. It's not like a requirement or anything, but it does help, and it can make it a little bit easier to get your changes in. Yeah, I mean, this could also be an okay issue. 2385 858. I'll also go ahead and watch this issue. Yeah, this one might not be too bad. This one, okay, this issue is reported by myself. And this is like super annoying, and I don't actually know what's going on. So I should try and fix this, but I'm not going to pick this one for today because this is sort of something where the amount of work is kind of a really vast unknown. So let's skip that. It could be really short or it could be really long, and I'd like something that we're probably going to finish. Accessing Java from PySpark Lambda functions. Oh, interesting. Yeah. No. Okay. So this is interesting. This is talking about someone wants to call back into Java from the worker nodes. And so for people who aren't super familiar with Spark, let's go see what is Spark. Let's go to the Spark project, actually. Probably should have done this first. It's distributed processing. It has a lot of different components, and it has a combination of things. So we're going to go look at an example really quickly. I think there's a Python one in here. So this is sort of the de facto hello world of big data, and that's word count. But essentially what the person is saying is that today they're writing their code in Python, but they have some Java code, and they wish they could call their Java code from inside of the map function. And strangely enough, and this is kind of a backdoor feature in Spark, right now you can actually call Java code from Python, but you can only really do it from inside of the driver program. And so essentially, it can't go inside of the map, but if we wanted to call some Java code right here, like in between text files and counts, totally doable. And this is actually how PySpark works under the hood. It's done by passing a lot of the work into Java. And so what this person wants is totally reasonable, but it doesn't work. So what they want, really cool. But the way they want to do it isn't going to work. So while this isn't the issue we're going to fix, because we see this issue and we know something about it, and I have a related project called Sparkling ML. Oh, no, I don't want sparkling water. Thanks, Google Ads. This is one of my related projects, and it's about exposing Java code and Python code to each other to be used with Spark. So we're going to go ahead and leave a comment to help this person out, hopefully. So the PyFR JKY only exists on the driver program. On the worker programs, Spark uses its own method of communicating between the worker and Spark. You might find looking at to be helpful if you factor your code so that the Java function takes in a data frame, you can use it that way. Or register Java UDS. Not sure. Cool. So this is, we're going to go ahead and also, this is probably a won't fix. So I'm going to resolve this issue. Won't fix. Not supported by the current design. Alternatives do exist. Though. Cool. So that's great. We got to close an issue, and we didn't even have to write any code. I just pointed someone to some code that I wrote to before. Yeah. So, we need more information before we could try and solve this problem. This is also probably not a major bug, but we'll leave it for now. Okay, this is also reported by Holden. Okay. Well, yeah. Ooh, support partial functions callable with pandas UDF. This is interesting. I'm not going to do it. Oh, there's some discussion on GitHub here where we could go take a look and see. Oh, this is maybe not the stop iterator exception in Python UDF results in partial result. That is interesting. Yes, I think the task should fail. And it's duplicated by a later one. Let's see if there's more information. Although, yeah, this is nice because it gives you some really simple code to just recreate. The problem is, and we can actually go take a look at why this is going to be a hard problem to solve. Okay, let's go ahead and build the Scala package. And I'm going to go ahead and go look at why this problem is hard. This might actually be another really good candidate, though, if we can think of a way to solve it together. Or if, I mean, I've got Boo to help me too, if no one else is around. Yeah, okay. So we're going to go Python, PySpark, rdd.py. Yeah. So the thing is, this pipelined RDD, what it's actually doing is Spark will combine two sort of adjacent pieces of computation together into a single pass over your data. And that's cool, but in Python it works by doing this pipelining right here, which if we raise yeah, actually I'm curious. Let's go ahead. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, okay, this does throw the exception. Back up. You know what? This one could also be a really good one to solve. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So this one's with UDFs. This one's with RDDs. The RDD one is going to be easier to sort of write initially. And conveniently, we have this really nice little test case here for when we get done. So that's good. I like this one. It is a test case. It's reported by someone who's not a committer. So, for example, we wouldn't be sure there would be anyone, or I don't actually know if Lee's a committer or not. But essentially, we don't know that there would be anyone to review this PR if we made it. That being said, we can see that there's some comments on the one it's marked as a duplicate of, indicating that it's probably an issue, and that they would probably take a look. And so this is good. If we were to do this, actually, since we are going to do this issue, when we're done, we'll probably mention our friend here, because they're clearly, aware of what's going on. So let's go ahead and make this work. Or let's go ahead and try and make this work. From itertools, import IMAP. So let's go ahead. We're going to find map partitions with index. Yes. Okay, that's great. Yeah. So interesting. Why is map import itertools.chain? So I'm personally curious as to why this is behaving the way it is. So yeah, this gets created with F, which that's fine. That's what I would expect. That's also fine. This shouldn't capture the error either. And flat map does a chain from iterable, so that might actually capture the exception. But if this is the same map, let's go up there. Let's go back here. Yeah, okay. So that's the deal. In Python 3, the map function takes stop iteration and does something with it. So this becomes slightly more complicated then. And then I'm not actually sure if we should change it. Yeah. This one we should definitely, well, should probably do something about that there. But here, let's leave a comment. So, Python 3. Yeah, so when we call next on it, maybe let's go ahead and find pipeline RDD. So yeah, this is the function. Yeah, so it looks fine. Okay, so there's a wrap function and Python RDD. Let's go take a look at underscore wrap function, or otherwise it's going to be inside of Python RDD. Let's actually look at def underscore wrap function. Okay, yeah, no, this just serializes it, so that's fine. That shouldn't break it. Wait, it was Python RDD, right? No, Python RDD is a Java class. This might be inside of worker.py. So this reads the command, can chain two functions together. We can skip all of the stuff about pandas and UDFs because I'm just going to focus on the map one right now. And so this gets the task context, it reads in broadcast variables. It gets the function and the serializer and the deserializer, and the process goes iterator.deserialize load stream, and this goes serializer.dumpstream. So essentially, serializer.dumpstream on the iterator is probably the part that's capturing the error, right? This is probably the thing which is bad news bears. Alright. Yeah. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna make a new branch for my work. Yeah. We're gonna call it. Yay, cool. Still working. This is the one which is marked as a duplicate, but this is really the issue that I want to solve first. And then I'll see if it fixes the other one and we can rename the branches later. Because this one is going to be easier for us to do. Stop iterator exception should bubble up. Cool. The branch name doesn't have to be super descriptive. Really, not many people look at the branch name. That's just for myself mostly. So I like putting the JIRA in it because often when I'm looking at my work, I'm looking in JIRA, and then I come back here and I'm trying to find the branch. So having it there can help. So let's go ahead and start some small refactoring. So the first thing is, I think this is where the error is. So I'm gonna do this. And yeah, okay, let's go find dump stream. I don't actually know if it's going to be in here or not. I still use grep because I'm old school and I don't know. But cool. So we can see there is serializers.py is where it is. If you're using an IDE, that's awesome. You should definitely do that. It will be better than what I do. Actually, I'm gonna do. So we're looking for dump stream here. Okay, the default one not implemented. Frame serializer for obj in iterator. Yeah, something tells me this is a pattern that we're going to see a lot of. For series in iterator, yep. And this one just calls, what is this one? Yeah, this is a batch serializer, so it just wraps another serializer, so it doesn't really have much logic inside of it. So it's the for x and y, which is, so let's go ahead, Python for x and y. What was the exception? My memory is not the greatest. Stop iterator. I don't know what that hotkey was, but I did not want it. Yeah. So yeah. The lights are going off in the room that I'm in. Yeah, okay, they're convinced I'm a human again. Ooh, let's go take a look at this. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. So as we can see, it says this can, yeah. So there's a PEP, which looks to during transition phase, the new feature fuck. Okay, writing backwards and forwards compatible tools. Yeah. 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 So this is more or less what we want. But sorry for just saying that. Just because I'm reading the text, I wasn't doing a great job of sort of sharing my thinking. But the TLDR here is that this is probably not supposed to work this way anymore. So in Python 3.5, there's new semantics for the future import for stop iteration. And Python 3.7 enables the new semantics anywhere, but since Spark has to work on both Python 2 and Python 3, that's really not going to work out super great. So it's okay. We'll do the kind of ugly rewrite. And it's not the end of the world. So for option writer becomes while true. While true. While true, self dot underscore write with length string. Yeah, that's not quite what I want though. Has next or no? No such method. We indicate it with an exception. Yeah, I can't make this work then. This PEP makes things complicated. because I can't do the future import in Python 2, I don't think. Let's actually see if the future import works. Oh, this has to be, well, okay. Yeah, no, not Python 2.7. So that's not going to work either. The idea that this was going to be easy is not super clear. Yeah, okay. Yeah. This is, maybe this is not the fun issue to go after. Okay, we're actually going to go back to the previous issue, and I'm going to save this one for another time. To local iterator is going to be the one we go after. We'll deal with this another time. I will come back to that issue, though, because that one looks fun. So let's go check out master, get checkout-b. This means new branch again. Now, okay, if we were expecting to take a while to work on this issue, we'd leave a comment down at the bottom that says, you know, hey, what's up? I'm planning to work on this issue. But since I'm going to try and get it done sort of the faster side, we'll just try and get this to work. To local iterator, consume all records not required. Cool. Oh, sorry. That's weird, to say the very least. Oh, okay. Error opening zip file spark-streaming Kafka. Let's go ahead and find that. Oh, right. Because it crashed earlier while it was in the middle of a build. It probably wrote an invalid file somewhere. I'll just delete all of these targets. Cool. And deal with that later. Compile package. Okay, why is it trying to compile? Okay, there was a junk Scala file in the root which it was trying to compile, which failed, but that's okay. Okay, let's go back here. Yeah. Yeah. So this exception is actually also going to be a little bit nasty to work with, but it's not the end of the world. Is this the one we want to do? Ugh. Okay. Ooh, this one's way easier. Okay, except someone's already working on it. So it would be impolite for us to start working on it. But that's okay. Oh, yeah. I reported this myself. I could do it myself too, which is probably not a bad idea, actually. Let's go ahead and do this one because I know for sure. Well, I know probably how much work this is going to be. Add PMML Export support to Spark. To PySpark. cool. This looks like what we want. We're going to work in ML, so let's go into ML, and we're going to go into getlog-p, and we're going to go find last time someone was working with PMML, and that was me back in April 23rd. And we can see the one that we did it for was linear regression. And the thing that I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at what classes I changed first. So it looks like I added that there. Okay, so I think if I remember correctly, I added something, okay, along the lines of like generalized export, but it looks like I got the name wrong. So let's go back up. And general ML writer. So we're going to go find PySpark's ML writer and yeah, make a version of it. So ML writer. So this is the base class for ML writer and ML reader, stores information in the Spark context. Okay, cool. This is kind of neat. We can see that underneath the hood, it's really just calling the Java version of the Spark context, right? And it has things like these Java wrappers. And the thing that we're going to want to add is we're going to want to add a format option. Because we can see here, the general ML writer added a format option, general ML writer. Yeah, has a new thing, and it's called format. That being said, we probably want to not add it to ML writer. Once again, we're going to actually just inherit from ML writer, as we did in the Scala version, and we will just add the new functionality so that people who have written old things will continue to work, so they don't have to have these functions. Okay. We're going to go ahead, copy this doc string. We're going to change this around, though. I can save ML instances in different formats, and it was added in 240, which is not released, so that's good. And we are going to add def format. And it takes a source, so self. Wait, it's called source. Okay. Make sure to give it a similar piece of documentation. And so here we're actually just going to copy and paste the format of the comment so that the comments are the same between the two languages. It's a little over the line length. Okay, so this is really convenient, and it's relatively simple work to do, right? Because what happens is you just find a thing that's missing that we've done in the Scala side, and you go ahead and you make it work in the Java side. And you go ahead and you expose it in Python. So we can see here there's this function called handle overwrite, which takes a path and underscore. This is an interesting choice. Why did we make this private? Oh, okay, yes. Overwrites if that path exists. So this explicitly calls handle overwrite separately from calling the save implementation. This is an interesting choice. Personally, I would have just called the save implementation with the overwrite on it. But that's fine. Ooh, actually, this is harder than I thought, but this time we'll stick with it. save impl here can be sort of arbitrary. And so that means that users might override it. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the linear regression one did. So we're going to go ahead and look in not linalg. We're going to look in regression.py, linear regression writer. Okay, let's JavaML writable. Oh, okay, actually, yeah, that's a good point. We probably just need to go into the JavaML writable class, which should be in util. Okay, so JavaMLWriter is a instance of JavaML which delegates all of its work to Java. And this is because that's what we do most of the time, but certainly someone could make a pure Python model, and then they would not want to have to delegate their work into Java. So we're going to go ahead, self.source, return self. Okay, we'll make a version of JavaMLWriter. Can I do multiple inheritance in Python? I don't think so, but let's double check. Python, multiple inheritance. It's been a while. Yeah, oh. Ew. Oh wait, yeah, no, I totally can. Fuck. It's been a long day. I'm sorry. Okay. So we make a version of this JavaMLWriter called General JavaMLWriter, which extends JavaMLWriter and General MLWriter. We go ahead. We want to inherit this doc. Private specialized class for General MLWriter. Yeah. Is this the writer that I want? What does it do? self._jwrite.save. jwrite. Okay, let's go back into regression. Okay. Yeah. Java object.write. So I'm actually just going to do this instead. Well, yeah. Yeah. So, well, we're going to go ahead. So when this gets created, it finds the underlying Java object. So when someone sets overwrite, it just calls overwrite. And we'll do the same sort of logic here. And we'll put this up with the last user settable value. Wait, no. New function. Sorry, new class down here. So self._. JWrite underscore. Dot format source. So this is a little ugly, but it does show us what's going on. So that's kind of cool. Let's see if this is compiled. Cool. So it's compiled and packaged. That's good because then I can actually use it. And we're going to go, and I'm going to figure out, where's my git diff? Which one did I actually add PMML support to? It looks like I did it for linear regression model. So let's go and we'll add the same thing to the linear regression model. So this is the linear regression class, but class linear regression model. Yeah, JavaML writable becomes general JavaML writable. And we could add it in tests, which we probably should do. But as we can see, there's already a sort of save example here. So I think it would be good to have a similar example where we save PMML so people can see that it supports PMML. So yeah. Model dot interesting. So this is a little bit different between the Python side and the Scala side. Here we have the save function implemented directly on the model. And in the Scala side, we actually get a writer object back, which we can then send a bunch of parameters on and then save it to a specified path. So that's maybe kind of unfortunate in terms of API differences, but it's not the end of the world. Model path. Cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and see if this works. So I'm gonna make sure I don't have Spark installed in this env. Yeah, I don't want PySpark. Okay. Or I do, but more specifically, I don't want it to conflict with the version that I'm going to be testing. And so there's conveniently a test script. So I'm going to go ahead and run the tests. But I don't actually remember, well, I do, but let's pretend I didn't, which modules there are. So we're going to go ahead, and it says it's running all of these tests. But that's going to take a long time. And actually, there's a good chance the SQL tests are going to fail because of some strange issues. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to run PySpark MLlib tests only. Actually, sorry, PySpark ML. Yeah, okay. And as we can see, I fucked up. So cool, let's go find util.py. It tells us line 210. Okay. I forgot my colon. Okay. So one of the nice things about this script is that it kicks off the tests in parallel. One of the not so convenient things is that it kicks off the tests in parallel. Or more accurately, it can be difficult to see here. So it's giving me a truncated class file error message, which is not normal, and I suspect my build could just be in a bad state. Let's run the PySpark core tests. And if these succeed, yeah. Okay, so my build is in a bad state, and that's unfortunate because making a clean build takes a long time on Spark. So I'm going to make a clean build, and this will take us a little while before we can actually properly test our code. But this may in fact be the chance that I need to step out for a cup of tea while the clean build is running. Yeah, I might actually do that. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, put this on Be Right Back mode, and I'm going to grab some tea. And when we come back, we will see if this thing is finished building. And I just had a chance to take a quick look at the chat, and so it looks like the thing that I'm using for chat is broken. So I looked at the manual chat screen. So I'm going to go ahead and also fix the chat really quickly instead of getting a cup of tea. Or fix the chat, endeavor to fix the chat would be a more accurate description of my plans. Cool. And that's mostly done by grabbing my Android phone, because it don't turn off all the time. Or I can more easily configure it not to. So I'm going to go in. Okay. Actually, it could be, it might just be broken, and I'll just have to check on my chat manually. That's not the end of the world. I use a thing to aggregate the chat messages from both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Yeah. So, oh yeah, so the AG package sounds pretty cool. My .emacs file is a terrifying place. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna. Let's go here, go back to live. Yeah, so this is just while we're waiting for the build to happen. This is my .emacs. These are the packages which I normally use. I really depend a lot on the Magit package. And I have the Enzyme package installed, but I don't really use it all that much. So I'm definitely going to take a look at this AG package as well later on. Let's see how the build's coming along. Okay, a little slow. Yeah, okay, I am going to go grab that cup of tea, and I will be back. Normally, this build takes about 5 minutes. I will try and be back in about 3, and hopefully we can continue from there. If anyone watching wants to leave me some questions, I'll check the questions as soon as I get back from making some tea. Okay. Okay, and I'm back, and the build is not yet completely finished, so I'm going to check and see if there are any questions. It looks like there are no new questions. Sorry for the issues with the chat thing on my end. Okay. So, well, we can go ahead and switch back into live mode, and we can look at sort of the compile. And we can talk about why we have to compile all of the Scala code. So, even though we're working in Python today, this actually depends on the Java code. And it's pretty obvious from how the work we were doing is happening. And so that's if we go look at util.py, we can see that our thing is actually calling this self._jwrite, which if we go up here, we can see is the Java object underlying the SparkML model. And like I said, not all SparkML models have to be implemented in Java. Many of them are, simply for performance reasons, but some examples of ones that are not can be found in the Sparkling ML project. Oh, this tea is good. Oh, and conveniently enough, the build just finished. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that clean, just because I sometimes press up enter without thinking about it. And we're going to go ahead and run our tests. Okay, cool. Now our tests fail because of myself, and that's what I would expect. I wouldn't really expect class errors at this point, and so that's why we did the recompile. So general Java ML writable is not defined. So I suspect I just forgot to import it. Let's go look in regression.py and go look at our import statements. Nope. Looks like general Java ML writable. What did I call it? Oh, I called it ML Writer rather than writable. Okay. A typo a day keeps the doctor away, I suppose. Unfortunately, not actually true, as illustrated by the number of times I have to go to the doctor. Okay. So now our tests are actually running, and that's exciting and happy and fun. And I'm going to go ahead and load up the comment stream here, because I think that'll work better. Ooh. Okay, so now I've just got the regular old chat going, and so I can hopefully keep an eye on it that way. So these tests do take a while to run, and part of that is because we are running a lot of ML tests, and the ML tests can be kind of heavyweight. You can actually probably even go look at the local Spark context. So let's go ahead. It's like 4,000. I'm always using the yarn one. Okay. Oh, Spark is designed for large-scale stuff, right? So where can you find uses for it where you're not doing large-scale stuff? So, okay, actually, these are two great questions. Is there any benefit to using Spark on your own for small things, and where can I find examples of doing non-large things with it? So, Spark is definitely designed for large-scale data processing. It can be used in small scale, and in fact, while these tests are running, they're actually running on a local version of the cluster, which is just on my laptop. It's not connected to a cluster or anything of that nature. Spark is more commonly used for small-ish scale stuff inside of the Python world, and this is just because multi-threading in Python is a little more frustrating. And I think there's some pretty common examples of using things like, sorry, let me rephrase that. There are some examples of using Spark for like more IO bound type things. Cool, we got some errors that we can go look at in a second. There's actually, I mean, let's go take a look. So github.com. I have one of my projects, which is pretty small scale data, is looking at gender diversity in the Apache projects. And so let's go in there. Yeah, so diversity analytics. And this is done with Spark and a Python notebook, mostly just out of convenience. You know, the data could fit on a single machine, but it's a lot faster to do it on a small cluster. So I run this on a pretty small cluster rather than just doing it on a single machine. Even though these data sets are relatively small. Although that being said, all of the Apache mailing list logs do take up some space once you start getting into it. Other places where I see people do this with small data is with model training. Some people find it really useful if they want to sort of do hyperparameter tuning. And so there's actually Spark deep learning hyperparameter tuning example. Yeah, deep learning with Apache Spark and TensorFlow from my old employer, Databricks. I used to work for them before Google. They have some examples of using Spark to sort of tune some hyperparameters and then get models out of it. And so, yeah, 10x reduction in training time and 34% lower error rate. I mean, I don't know how to put this nicely, but whenever anyone tells me that they have an order of magnitude decrease in time, I'm a little suspicious. But I think there was probably a pretty big speed up to be found here. So that being said, these errors all do not look like my fault. This is all inside of clustering, although these are important errors. I don't think it's us. Though this is curious why these are not matched up. This is unfortunate because normally with a project like Spark, you expect the latest checkout to be good. And so when it's not, you can end up sort of questioning yourself. That being said, we can see that evaluation finished in 79 seconds. Did it run? I don't think it ran regression. No, it did not. So for now, mostly just because I don't want to deal with it, because the failures from clustering are going to be unrelated to us because we're just changing regression, probably. I mean, famous last words, right? So 592. We're going to go ahead for now and just put this into sort of a wildcard match. We're not going to commit this because I think it's unrelated, but wait, yeah. Oh, fuck. What version of pandas do I have? 0.22. Yeah, whatever. Okay, 592, 594, 391, yeah. Okay, we're gonna... So, doc tests are not one of my favorite things because of stuff like this where it can get a little bit flaky. Oh yeah, sorry about the frame rate. Thanks for the heads up. That can totally happen. and let me know if that happens again. I do have a wired Ethernet cord I can plug in, but I was in a bit of a hurry today. Okay, so for now, we've just gone ahead and made those tests failures that were unrelated to us a little bit more relaxed. So we can just kick this back off, and I can grab a cup of tea. Or, sorry, not grab a cup of tea. I can drink my tea while this runs. And we can see how this works out. Oh, I am so tired. I'm in the London time zone. I was in San Jose on the weekend, and before that I was in Berlin. My body does not know what's going on. So sorry if I zone out a little bit. Yeah, there's that XKCD my code is compiling comic, and while that's certainly a good excuse, I enjoy the relaxing time of my tests running to drink my tea. Oh, delicious tea. Okay, cool. So this is good. We can see some of our test suites are starting to finish. Still gonna take a little while. Should probably also consider writing more tests, because the extent of the test that we have right now, right, is not a lot. Right, we just check that we can save it, and we check that the format PMML saves it. And so that's, I mean, that's fine, but we don't actually know that it saved PMML data. So honestly, what I do is let's go find the tests from Spark's old MLlib and see what they did to verify PMML export. They did nothing to verify. What? Oh, they never. Okay, I'm gonna oh. I am so frustrated with all of these format string doc tests. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. So this is just, I'm actually, okay. I'm gonna make a new virtual env. Oh, fuck. Except, so I meant to make a new virtual env with Python 3, but I just made it, oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna make the new Python 3 virtual env, and I'm gonna grab that wired Ethernet controller from my bag. Okay, so let's step this with a pen. Thanks for the heads up about the frame rate issue. I would not notice. Okay. Somewhere in this pile of cables, one would think there would be an Ethernet cord. I'm gonna go check the other pile of cables. I will be right back. Huh. Okay. Oh, I guess there is one more. Let's go check. That's weird. So, I checked the 3 magical piles of cables, and there is no Ethernet cord. I'm glad it's better now. Let's hope it lasts. Hopefully, it's just a transient issue. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm more or less just really confused as to why I'm getting all of these doc test error messages. Normally, I don't have that experience. So it's a little weird. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to install these 3 packages into our virtual environment. And we can go ahead and see if this error message is happening in Python 3 as well. It's really weird. It's not. No, not. Okay, so we're going to test it against Python 3, and we'll see if it gives us the same error messages. In the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and manually run the regression tests because I don't want us to wait here forever. Okay. So I'm going to install this package in edit mode if it works, although maybe I remember I made an issue that said it wasn't working, so that would be inconvenient if it isn't. So we'll find out while the Python 3 tests are running. So edit mode is really convenient because it lets, edit mode isn't working. Cool. We'll debug that another day. It would be super convenient because it lets you run things more easily, but that's okay. Regression. And I'm going to double check, but essentially down at the end of regression.py, if we call it directly, it starts a local Spark session in local mode, and then it runs its doc tests. So we can use this to validate its tests. And yeah. Awesome. Okay. Yep. Do. Cool. Sorry, these tests are kind of slow. But we can see they're running, right? They've kicked off some Spark jobs. And this one's moving forward. So it looks like there might be some formatting issues. That's weird though, because yeah. This is really, what the hell? Okay, so this is probably a version difference or something, but I really don't want to deal with all of these tiny white space changes today. So we're just going to focus on the change that we're doing. And I have an interesting question of what the hell is going on with the doc tests to come back to later. This is good. So even though we're only running the regression tests, we can see that, it's running a bunch of things. Cool. And it looks like I did do something wrong. Cool. So MLUtil line 220. Let's go ahead and jump on over there. I forgot this part. Okay. Self._JWrite. Yeah, that should be right. Let's go ahead. Run this test again. So my guess is most likely I have a different version of something, which is why we're getting all of these doc test errors when we run the general doc tests. So that's going to be a frustrating experience for any new developers coming into the project. So that's the thing which we should definitely try and fix. Cool. But, I mean, it's the thing that we should try and fix, but not today because I'm lazy and I just want to do one thing and then we can do our code review and then I win sleep or a falafel. Alright. Decision tree is working. That's good. Okay, cool. Model 2 is not defined. Linear regression model has no attribute _JWrite. So let's go try and figure out why. So JavaMLWriter. Oh, wait, no. And here's JavaMLWritable. Okay. Let's go back into regression.py. Yeah. Private specialization. So I'm going to try adding JavaMLWritable. Yeah, no, so that. Oh, yeah, so super JavaMLWritable should go ahead and call JavaMLWriter and then general ML writer. I'm gonna get rid of this one temporarily. Take a look and see. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and just run bin PySpark. Because I don't want to wait for the full tests. Actually, maybe we will wait for the full tests. I'm kind of lazy. I'm not super sure why the initialization isn't happening in the order, or is not happening the way I thought it would. Yeah. So general JavaML writable. And we can see here model 2 is not defined. Yeah. So the init isn't getting called. I'm super confused why the init is not getting called. That doesn't make sense, but things that don't make sense happen. Because it's broken for both of the right methods. So this init is not being called. So why is that? What the hell? Okay, I'm gonna go back and switch this to just JavaMLWriter and make sure that it fails the way I would expect it to fail. That is, it should fail when we try and set the format. But the first test should succeed. Other thing that I can do is run a git diff to see if maybe I changed something else that I didn't think I changed. Oh, that's right up. God damn it. Okay. So there's extra white space, general ML writer. Yeah. Wait, what? No, that was supposed to be writer. Oh, man. Okay. ML Writer, General ML Writer, JavaML Writer. I don't know. This should. Okay. Okay, this does make more sense. Okay, cool. So okay, let's go ahead and run git diff. Go look at linear regression, JavaML writable, def write. Okay. Cool. I'm sorry. I got the classes mixed up in my head, which makes sense, I guess. So, essentially, what it comes down to is I needed to add one more, and it actually does behave more like the Scala API than I was talking about, so that's good, and that makes more sense. So we have this, and then this becomes okay, thank God. I was starting to get a little worried. So linear regression model, so JavaML writable becomes general JavaML writable. And then .write.format PMML.save. There we go. Okay. This will hopefully work. And, yeah, okay. Hopefully I fix my error. I guess I probably should have trusted my initial instincts, but sometimes when you get sleepy. Okay. Okay, no, still not happy. Okay, cool. General JavaML Writer. Okay, cool. So we're going to call our super instance with instance. Extend to JavaML Writer. And so that's because this person's init function expects instant. Oh, did I change? Yeah, okay. No, did I? Yeah. So essentially, because the person above expects the instance, and they use the instance to get the JWrite object, which I need. I'm just plumb that through. Run this test. Python, yeah. So, right. it looks like we never had PMML support in Python. Cool. So the test ran successfully. We can tell that by the exit code of 0. We probably should print out a message on success, but normally you don't run these directly. You normally run them with the shell script. But for today, because I just want to get through this faster, we were just calling it directly. We probably do want another test, though. So let's find an instance of saving. Well, really, so the general pattern that it looks like these all follow is they save the model out, they load the model back in, and they assert that it is what they expect. On the other hand, it's more difficult to do that because we've only implemented support for PMML on the write path. We haven't implemented support for it on the read path. And this is in Scala too. And so in Scala, we do a bunch of things to like validate that we get like some XML files out that we expect. In this case, we could actually do that, I guess. That's not a bad idea. Let's find a Python PMML library. Crap. Okay, it looks like the Python PMML library, the first one that I can find, is here. And unfortunately, the license consideration means that I can't use it in this project because Spark is Apache licensed and this is AGPL licensed. Those two aren't going to play together super nicely. Yes, I am super excited that the test passed as well. It's a very exciting day. I do want to add more tests, though, and this is in part because I often have to maintain this code. But it looks like there's no really great libraries for parsing PMML right now that I can think of. Or let me rephrase this. There's no great libraries that are Apache licensed for doing this. This might work, but it's a version 0.0.1. And it's alpha. And so I really don't want to take a dependency on this, even just as tests. And I'm sure it's a good library, but and the license is a happy one, but it's probably not a thing that I want to do. So for now, I think we will just depend on mostly the Scala tests, and I mean, it's not great, but oh, actually, okay. I'm gonna go and see if I can find what I did in the Scala tests, and if I can call it from Python. It's kind of a hack. Almost certainly I can't. PMML utils.scala. Where does this live? It lives in test. Yeah. This is rough. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to do a really simple test. It's better than nothing. It will validate that we're writing at least, XML rather than just putting out Parquet files. And that's not great, but it's better than not having any tests. So let's go find the rest of the persistence tests. Persistent. Okay, that's pipeline persistence. I don't want to do that. Okay. So we're going to look at the previous test and model our test off of this. Linear regression, PMML basic. And so essentially we're going to do this part. Well, it's just going to be copy pasta. Write dot format PMML and then so apparently what we do here is we go sc.text file okay, and self.assert. Is there like an assert in? It's been a while since I worked on this. Assert in. Assert contains. Assert true. Yeah. Assert true. On the Scala side, here we just check that we output text rather than Parquet. EG. So this is the comment which explains why the test isn't very great. But it's better than nothing. Let's go ahead, actually look, PMML header. Let's find the standard PMML header, and we can also assert that that's in there. I'm kind of lazy. I'm just going to assert essentially that it contains this because, yeah. If it doesn't, you know, something's gone wrong. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and switch from regression.py to test.py, and it says I fucked up. Oh, yeah. Cool. So this Spark Home thing is in the other one, actually, yeah. Well, let's hope these tests pass. This is a lot of stuff going on. Well, in the meantime, we got the first part passing, so we can make our first commit. Let's double check that we're on the right branch. Yeah. So the first part that we want to do is note that. So this is what we changed inside of here. So we're going to go ahead and add that. And we'll add the test later. Famous last words, but no more seriously, we'll add util.py now. Okay. Now I'm going to give it a commit message, and this is just for the first 2 parts. Add basic PMML export support to Spark ML pipeline elements. Yeah. Sorry. I think as it gets later, they decrease the timeouts for this room. Oh, what test would I have added if I had the time? Or, I mean, not time, but more like if there was a PMML parsing library. So if there was a PMML parsing library in Python that I could easily use that was Apache licensed rather than a Pharo GPL license, I would validate that the model parameters and intercept that I loaded back were the same as the ones I wrote out. That being said, we manually do this parsing in the Scala side, and we already validate that there. That's where that logic is handled. So that's good. I would have preferred to have the test in both places, but it's, this is okay. Cool. Add basic. Cool. Okay. We're not going to commit these changes. This is sort of unrelated and something that I need to look into later as to why these print strings, as to why the format strings are changing. I'm going to go ahead and fix some of the blank spaces in the test.py file. Yeah, there we go. Before we commit it. And I'm going to wait for that. Oh, there's a bunch of errors. I'm going to wait for that to finish before we commit it. So I'm going to go ahead. Cool. We're going to push this to my personal repo. And then we're going to go ahead and go to GitHub. And I'm going to have to log in because, yeah. I normally use Chrome, but I was doing some things to make Chrome install, so it's in a bad state, so I'm using Firefox today. And I have a password manager, but I don't have it hooked up to my Firefox, so I'm just going to check on my phone, because remembering passwords is hard. Cool. Let's go ahead. I'm going to start the authenticator. Yeah. PSA, two-factor authentication is amazing. Everyone should use it, especially if you work on open source, because, people are sometimes not awesome. Cool. Okay, lovely. So this shows me all of the things that I'm doing. One of the nice features which I really like about GitHub lately is that it does this for me. And so I pushed this to my local branch. It's not in the Apache Spark project, but it sees that I made a new branch with some changes that are not in the primary branch of Spark. And it says, hey, what's up? Do you want to create a pull request? And I do. So I'm going to do this with, so in Spark we have the convention where we put sort of the component here. So it's going to be PySpark ML. We put the JIRA number here so people can find it more easily. And because I'm still waiting on seeing if, that's not good. That's not good. Oh. Yeah, okay. That's why. So yeah, I'm not gonna make this pull request just yet because it said JavaMLWriter has no attribute format, and we should be getting back a general. Okay. Oh, this is writing out. Okay, so one of the things that you can do in Spark, which I don't often do myself, is you can write out your pipeline steps that haven't been fit on data. And that's a confusing thing because I don't want to deal with it. And so that's what it was doing here, and that's why that test failed. So that's fine. We don't have to worry about that. We actually just have to go ahead and make a model. Yeah. Cool. So we're gonna also no wait, no, this should be, yeah, there we go. Cool. Just train our model so that we can fit it, and then we're gonna run this and hopefully that'll work. Cool. We'll add that test later. In the meantime, though, since I'm not actually completely sure we're done, I'm gonna make it with this work in progress tag. 2 PySpark. Yeah. So we describe what we've done here. Adds basic PMML export support for Spark ML stages to PySpark, as was includes linear regression model. How is this tested? So unit, okay, so doc test, and so the unit test isn't committed yet, so I'm just going to say doc test. The main testing work for this is on the Scala side. To do, hold on, add the unit test. Once I finish locally. Cool. So I'm gonna make the pull request. The nice thing about this is you can see I left it to do. I said work in progress. Is that I can go back and change this later. So that's cool. We'll add it later if it's fixed. And now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go and review a pull request in Spark. And part of this is looking at the sheer number of open pull requests. We can see there are 522 open pull requests and another 324 stale ones. We're going to focus on Python again because it's a Python kind of day. And this is a thing where we talked about it before and he said it was okay if I reviewed his PR live. So we will go ahead and take a look at this. As you can see, he asked me to review it, and I was like, yeah, I'll do this when I've got some time on Thursday. And there's a comment that another thing tries to fix it in a similar way. Okay, so this is one of the things which is different about open source code reviews, or at least not different, but let me phrase it, more commonly found in open source code reviews, where you'll have a lot of people reviewing the same code. So we can see there's already essentially 3 people involved in this. Yeah. Okay, cool. Sure. This is nice. Essentially, they're like, hey, what's up? We should check and see what Holden thinks of this as well while we're here. And so that's always nice. And it's a good practice when you're reviewing code. If you know there's someone else who cares about a thing, to like see what they think as well and get their input. Because, you know, when we work together, we can make awesome things, and when we work separately, we make crap. So this is interesting. This does not call with enable Hive support, so that's a thing. So, oh, right, I guess I should clarify. So this says run Hive-related PySpark tests only for -p Hive. And essentially what this comes down to is I often forget to build Spark with Hive support. I didn't bother building it with Hive support today either. And it gets frustrating for me when the test suite fails because I didn't build Hive, because for most of the other components, we only run the tests when the necessary components have been built. So this is cool. One of the things that we... Ooh, that's not great. Let's go ahead and check and make sure that it actually ran with Hive support in here. Because we definitely build with Hive support in our continuous integration environment, and we want to make sure that we're still going to be running the Hive tests. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and find a Hive-related test. Well, actually, maybe I can find it more easily by looking here. So this is Hive Spark submit tests. Let's take a look. It doesn't cat out the log unless it fails, I think. That's frustrating. And what's the test called? Test underscore Hive. Yeah, okay. Plan of looking to make sure that we were running the Hive test isn't. That's not working. Yeah. Let's go take a look at these 2 links. Yeah, so, okay, yeah, normally, let's see, yeah, okay, let's go see what's happening over in this other pull request, which might supersede this one. Explicitly print out skip tests from unit test module. I mean, this sounds like a good thing. Yeah. Yeah. So this, I mean, yeah. I like this message. Improvement. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree with this. So I think this is a really good change. And I'll come back to this and do a more thorough review. Let's go take a look at this other pull request, which does a similar thing. So this is the wonderful world. Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So most of the review has probably, let's see here. PR22. Oh God. Okay, so this is one of the wonders of open source, is that we have like 3 concurrent PRs related to the same topic. Yeah. Okay, it sounds like people have agreed that this should go in the other pull request, so we'll still have both pull requests going in. Yeah. It's an interesting way of skipping the tests here. This is a little frustrating. I don't think this gets all of the tests though. Normally I'd review this PR by running it locally, but as we saw earlier, there's some other issues happening with my SQL environment right now. So I can't just run this locally to double check, but this looks pretty reasonable. Especially in conjunction with the other one. Yeah, okay. I want to leave a comment on test.py. Oh, yeah, I don't think this is good. Or is it? This assumes that Spark has not been built into an assembly jar. Yeah. As an assembly jar. Yeah. So essentially what I'm saying is looking at these file names is okay, but the approach taken in let's just copy the URL because it's being a little weird. Yeah. So that's good. The thing which annoyed me, though, is I think there are more Hive tests. Yeah, although, I mean, this should work, and we can check it later. Essentially, when I have a functioning... cool. General... Sorry. We'll go back. What line was it? 1369. Okay. It says... let's save. Yeah, clear sign that I'm getting sleepy, but that's okay. Yeah. We'll add this and push it, and I'll run in Jenkins because I'm lazy and I really want to check out this PR. I don't think I have Hub installed right now, unfortunately. Add unit test. Yeah, I don't have Hub installed. Okay. Git checkout PR. I just my memory isn't great, and I normally use Hub. Yeah. Git fetch. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and rerun compile package. Just because the Python code is closely tied to the Scala code, and so when we change versions, it's important. So let's go. Where was this pull request? This is the one. So we'll see if this test passes. It's also possible it'll fail from the environment issues we saw earlier. But hopefully it passes. Yeah. 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 More information. On skip tests, that seems reasonable. Sure. Cool. If this passes, that's great. And we can just go ahead and give it because I left a comment, it decided to end review mode. That's cool. Whatever. We'll let that run, and while that's running, we can look and see if there's another PR that we would want to review. And actually, this is an interesting point. We can talk about this dashboard for a little bit. This isn't the standard GitHub. Okay. Yeah, so given that there's 500 plus pull requests, what do we do? Yeah. So straight up, I mean, we're not going to merge all 500 pull requests. That's just not going to happen. One of the things that I'm trying to get better at is telling people no when we're just not going to be able to merge their code. It's not great, but it's better than just ignoring it, which is what happens to a lot of these things. This dashboard is part of how we handle it. While there are 500 open pull requests, I really only care about Python and ML and maybe Core. I'm never going to touch the scheduler. I work on the build system occasionally, but I'm not going to review build system changes unless they're also touching Python. And so this dashboard makes it easier for people like me, the committers, to go in and find what things we should be reviewing, and help us spend our limited time effectively. Oh yeah, this one from Brian. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. But like, I mean, oh, that's kind of cool. I don't know how that's going to work. There's a bunch of other things. In addition to being able to narrow it down really quickly, we can see if a pull request currently merges, if it passes Jenkins, and we can just also see if any of the other committers are working on it. This part doesn't work super reliably, but the updated one does work a lot better. And we can see sort of who's involved and if it's probably already under control or if it's a thing that we want to look at. We can also see if someone else already thinks it's like not a thing. And this can be useful. At the end of the day, we're only human and we only have so much time. Oh, cool. Yeah, this one is... Oh, what's going on with Firefox? That's weird. Oh, did everything just freeze? Yeah, okay, I don't know. Something weird happened with my phone. It doesn't want to keep playing anymore. It doesn't want to show me the chat. I'm gonna poke it a little more. Hold on, I'm gonna switch this into be right back mode and I'm gonna try and debug it. Sorry about the weirdness. It is the joys of magical computers. I'm gonna go try and see what's going on. I don't what's happened. It says green, but the stream isn't updating on my phone. So that's really weird. Maybe my phone's just weird. I'm gonna check on my other phone and see if it's working there. And if not, I don't know. Hey, I'm back, and hopefully YouTube will be happy with me again, and hopefully the screen will keep more up to date. And sorry about that issue with the frames. Yeah, okay, it's back to okay. Switch this into live mode. Okay, so what was I saying? Yes, we really, I mean, we do the best we can. We're not going to get to all of them. A lot of these things just aren't going to happen. We're trying to do a better job of communicating that to people, but we still have a long way to go. That being said, you know, I try and focus on the issues that I can merge quickly. Just personally, that's, you know, easier for me, or things which like people need more clearly. And the other part which I'm always trying to do is help get more contributors up to being committers, and we've been doing a pretty good job of that this year. Historically, we haven't done as great a job at that as we could have, and we still can do better, but definitely I think the fundamental solution is adding more committers. So the problem with this PR is we checked it out, we tried it locally, and it didn't work. So I'm going to go ahead double check that I actually have the right code that I thought I did. Oh, no, maybe I didn't. Sorry. I probably just have not checked out that branch. Yeah, okay. Git checkout PR dash. Okay, there we go. Go ahead. We rerun, compile, and package. This could take a little bit. We'll run this at niceness level 19. And yeah. This could take a while. Why are computers so slow? It's actually possible I have a bunch of Java processes hanging around that I don't really need. So we're going to go ahead and look for those. No, I do not. I have SBT. Run. Oh, wait. No, I do have an instance of Spark Submit running. Which does not make sense because I'm not currently running Spark. It is using 48% of my CPU. So we go ahead, we kill that, and hopefully we can get this version compiled more quickly, and I will get back into looking at the PRs. Yeah. So this is Brian's PR. It's also pretty interesting. And down at the bottom there were some comments, so I'm gonna read these. Yeah. So it might break people's code. It's only when rows are serialized going. So essentially, what people are saying is that this change is when a row is created using KWArgs, the order of the keywords cannot be relied upon, except in Python 3.5. The fields are sorted the constructor, and the flag is set. So this is interesting. This includes the from_dict flag only when pickling a row that was made from KW_args, so that the behavior is preserved if the row becomes pickled. So let's go ahead and look at the changes, because I'm a little fuzzy. Okay. Yeah. So this is like a pretty reasonable test, but the challenge is that as people point out, people may be already depending on the previous behavior, especially, you know, changing the order of rows or changing the order of columns inside of the rows is especially worrying, because like this could result in people accessing valid data that is not the data they expected. Yeah, so I don't, yeah. Yeah. So this is a challenge. So essentially, this is really frustrating, because definitely the old behavior is not good, but we've had it for a while, and there's a good chance that people have implicitly depended on this. Yeah, I think a lot of people go from RDDs of rows to DFs in PySpark these days. I'm a little nervous about this change. Step in the right direction. How about a config flag defaulting to off, and we switch it over at 3.0. Essentially, what this is just saying is, I don't want to break people's code. I think this is the right thing to do, But we're already starting to talk about when we should do Spark 3.0, and this seems like, it's a relatively simple change, but it could break people. So we should put that off if we can. We should make an easy migration path if we can. And if we introduce breaking changes like this, we should do it inside of a major version release. Cool. That compilation ran. We can go back here. We can run the tests. These are not the tests for this one. These are the tests for this one here, the one from Dongyun, and it's running now. And if this passes, that's great. And if it fails as before, we'll leave a comment about how, it doesn't catch everything. And it's getting pretty late. Someone left cookies in this meeting room, and the cookies are starting to look like a really good idea, but they're probably not. But who thinks that maybe the cookies are a good idea and I should eat them? These are nice cookies. I don't think anyone's coming back for them. But I also, one of my goals is to not eat random food that I find in strange meeting rooms. Because that just seems like part of being an adult, maybe, is not eating just random food. But I am pretty hungry. I'll go get some food after this test is finished running, unless there are any questions. I'm going to actually, while this test is running, let's go ahead and switch this into talking mode. I'm going to check and see if there's any questions or comments on Twitch, because the restream dashboard is not working out. Super great. Let's see. Oh, huge packet loss. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I assume this meeting room was going to have wired Ethernet, but it looks like that may have been optimistic on my part. Cool. I'm going to switch it back into live mode. Oh, yeah, we're not working on KDS with Python. Damn it. I always remember to update this at the very end, which is not the time to update it. But that's okay. So, this is looking pretty solid. Let's go in. I'm going to see if there's any other pull requests in here. It would be really nice to merge something today as well. And I'm just looking to see. Oh, this is a good PR. Definitely not something we're going to merge today. Yeah. Okay. No, there's nothing really in the Python side. Let's go look in the MLlib side of the house, see if there's something in there that I can merge. Yeah. No. All of these things are a little too complicated to just go ahead and merge. There's nothing. Which is super friendly. Oh, we can see that our own PR failed. Jenkins, let's go take a look at that while this is finishing. Passes all tests, merges cleanly. Wait, what? Oh, okay. The new unit test which I added, not so happy. We'll go take a look at that. Yeah, So this is work in progress. Come back and review it more later. Let's go look at what failed. Global name SC is not defined. Okay, yeah, so that's just it's a tiny thing. We can fix it as soon as these tests are done running. Why is this so damn slow? I wish my computer was faster, but I also don't want it to be any heavier. Cool. Yeah. So I mean, this is good progress, but it's gonna take a little bit of time to finish up. And I shouldn't change the branch underneath it as much as I want to. I mean, this I think the one where it was happening before was the data frame 1, and it looks like the data frame 1 succeeded. So that's a pretty good sign. That this is probably going to work, and that's good enough. And we'll hopefully, you know, have a chance to get that fixed, and we can merge that one later on. There's like 3 related pull requests happening for this one, so it's going to take some coordination with the other 3 people so that we merge them in the right order. Cool. Okay. Cool. It looks like the tests are almost finished anyways, so we'll just let the UDF tests run really quickly. As we can see, it says, oh, right, okay. We can see that we have the things required for PyArrow and Pandas installed in this environment, but no, damn it, I didn't have them installed in the other environment. I was going to go show you the test run in Python 3, but it looks like I cleared my terminal, so. Okay, cool. This is not working. Ah, interesting. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna go for this. I'm lazy. Oh yeah, this is in core test Java string length. Could not load class. Please make sure it's on the class path. Interesting. It's possible Enable Hive support does something different, or does extra things. Yeah. Interesting. When I run this locally without Hive built, So this is just, I don't know what's going on. I don't, so we'll just ask him to take a look at that as well. So that wraps it up for the code review part. I'm going to go back in. We're going to check out the branch we were working on here. We'll go into test.py inside of ML. And this is, yeah, cool. I'm just going to squash it because no one needs to see that except you. So I can pretend. Normally I don't bother, but. Cool. So, I mean, that pretty much does it for me. Thank you for bearing with me for the packet loss issues. I'm sorry about that. I do have my little USB Ethernet adapter, but this meeting room just didn't have an Ethernet cable I could find. So next time I'll make sure I'm somewhere with an Ethernet cable. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, you can subscribe to my YouTube or Twitch channels. Normally I do the coding and the code reviews as separate, but I wanted to try doing them together. I don't think I'm going to do that again. That took way longer than I thought it would, which is pretty much the story of my life. Anyways, if you're in London, I will be at PySpark London later on this week. Sorry, not PySpark, PyData London, talking about Spark among other things, also some Beam stuff in there too if you're an Apache Beam user. So yeah, thanks, and I'll hopefully see you all around next time. Have a wonderful week. Oh, thank you.